Hi, I'm Titli and this is my busy garden. It's distinctly mild this morning, but there is more rain forecast for the end of the week, so I'm getting out early and doing my blog early this week. Not that you'll see it any earlier, but it gives me the weekend to relax. Anyway, enough of my rambling, I'm off into the greenhouse. It's been pretty cold in the greenhouse overnight these last couple of weeks, and the chilies are starting to suffer a bit. So I think I'm going to pick off all the chilies, red or green. No, I'm not going to get any more chilies off these plants this year, and the frost will soon take care of them. Bye-bye. You see, now this is a little bit sad because I don't know whether you can see, there are actually little flowers forming on this chili, but of course there are going to be no insects to pollinate them. Never mind. One of the interesting things about these Thai chili plants is the chilies never went through a green stage. They've gone kind of yellow to orange to red, and I suspect they've been missing something, maybe some nutrient or other. I'll have to Google that and find out. One thing that has surprised me this year is really how well these chili plants have done. I mean, if you can remember, they were really slow to germinate. It seemed like they were never going to come through. And then they've grown really tall, much taller than last year. Of course, I haven't got any pictures to show you from last year, but trust me, they've grown much taller than last year. It's just a shame that we didn't really have the weather to accelerate the ripening of these chilies. Well, that's a fair old harvest of chilies. And doesn't my greenhouse look empty? It's amazing. What I might do with those chilies actually is dry them and then see if I can make my own chili powder with them. But before all that, I ought to pick the last of these tomatoes and then send these plants on their date with destiny. It's just so empty in here now, I can dance about. But I won't, because I've got all these pots and things to wash up. Back in a minute. Do a bit of sweeping up in here too. Looks like I've had a bit of an ant nest in here. Not to worry. I'll just sweep it up and then I'll put some ant powder down. Take that, hideous ants. And now all I have to do is put all the things back. Well, I reckon we're almost ready for winter. There's been a couple of victims of a bit of neglect really over the past few weeks. One is the thyme and the other is my parsley. But it's nothing I can't put right with a good snip of my scissors. And I'll give them a good soaking as well. It should revive them. There we are. We'll check back on these next week and see how they're doing. On the subject of how things are doing, do you remember those little pads that I planted earlier in the year? I love these cacti actually. I used to have 2 or 3 of these many years ago. Now I'll take these indoors and put them back on my kitchen windowsill. Well, look at them now. Beautiful salmon pink flowers on them. And look at the number of pads as well, there's about 25 per plant. So for those of you who wondered whether they'd survive or not, bearing in mind that they'd actually been sitting in a little pot of water for 6 months before I planted them, they're pretty hardy things, those. So now perhaps you can understand why I wanted this concrete heart standing here. They come along, they land on here, they throw half the seed on the floor and then just pick the nice bits. So I'm going to fool them. I'm not having all this seed go to waste, so I'll sweep it up, dry it out, and then they can have it back in the feeder, where I got the leaves out, of course. I'm going to put the leaves in the feeder. Give it a bit of a brush over, clean it up a bit. Oh, that's much better. It's not surprising that the heart standing in the Bird Café gets messy. It can get pretty busy at times here, especially around breakfast time. And lunchtime can be pretty busy too. This guy's having a right old go at the peanuts. Looking particularly splendid today. Thanks for watching, because that's all I've got time for this week, but do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.